Creating a beautiful beach scene with resin art is a lot of fun. I had some great products to work with, and if you want to learn how, just stay tuned. I got a box today, and it's from Counterculture. It's some products that I'm going to give a test to, and I've never used any of their products before. I've known a few other artists that have, and I've heard good things about it, so I'm excited to give it a test. Let's take a look and see what they shipped out to me. All right. So, yep, they've got some publicity on the outside of their box, and got some art resin from them. I don't know anybody that has used their art resin. It says no VOC, no VOCs. I like that. And here is Quick Coat. It's a urethane sealer. Non-yellowing sealer that can be applied to the 3D Crete. Well, it's funny that they should give me that because they gave me the 3D Crete as well. So that's good. And yeah, okay. No purchase was made. This is Art Wash. So this is for removing oil and silicone. So good for acrylic pours. And here is a pigment. This is Cranberry Cocktail. It's one of their intense colors. It's pretty burgundy color. And Snow White, their dispersion color. Cool. All right. And that's it. That's what's in the box. So, yeah, I'm interested in doing something with the 3D Crete. I've never worked with a product like that. It's a cement that you mix up, and that's probably why you need to apply this to seal that concrete up, because if it's not sealed, the resin's probably going to get sucked right into that concrete. So since we have that, and it, I think because of the weight, this container is very heavy. If you've ever worked with concrete, and yes, I have, heavy stuff. And so I plan, get the box out of there, to work on a panel. The weight from this on a canvas would be bad news. So I'm going to put it on that panel. And before I do that, I need to seal it because it's MDF board, and I've had issues where the MDF board will actually take on moisture. So I'm going to spray paint it with a primer sealer, and that way I'm sure that that's not going to fluctuate at all. And this side, let's see if it says if it's sealed. White acrylic polymer. It's a gesso. It's not a sealer. So another good reason for me to spray paint it, so that everything is moisture proof, because this stuff you have to mix with water, and obviously that's going to make moisture. So I'm going to get that done, and let's see how this project goes. Don't know what I'm going to do yet, but playing's fun. My DaVinci MDF panel has been prepped with Rustoleum 2x Ultra spray paint, and that's a primer mix. I taped off the sides. I want to have clean sides on this, and I'm now batching up the Counterculture 3D Crete at a 4:1 ratio, which makes it a very thick structural type of paste, and we're going to apply that onto the board. Using the plastic spoon, I'm going to scoop some of the 3D Crete out and lay it down. I am creating a beach area, and I'm building those, I'll call them rock formations with the 3D Crete, and just kind of working it with that plastic spoon. I did not let it sit for long and applied it straight away. It's the next day, and it has been 24 hours since I put down these, we'll call them stones, made from the 3D Crete. There it is, the 3D Crete from Counterculture. And they look okay. I have a little crack here between where I connected this piece to here. But that's not a big deal because I'm planning on putting some color down on top of these. But they feel pretty hard. You know, I pushed down fairly well on these, and I'm not seeing any fingerprint. Let me give you a view, you know, from down here. So there you can see the, you know, these are, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch as far as a height off of the surface of the board there. Some of them are lower, but the highest is about 3/4 of an inch. And yeah, so they're all cured. And now I'm going to mix up another batch. I'm going to make it a little bit thinner. According to the directions here, I'm going to mix it up. Let's see. I guess I'm going to be doing what they call a brush coat. And that way I can get some texture, because I want to build in some texture. If I'm going for a look of a shoreline with some stones, I want to build that up. So let me get going on mixing up a batch. Mixing ratios, brush coat. 2 parts Crete to 1 part water makes a bond coat for your work for the next application of 3D Crete. Okay, well, I didn't do the brush coat. I just put those down right onto the board. So now I guess I'll do the smooth blend. So it's going to be 3 scoops of the 3D Crete and 1 scoop of water. Okay, I've got my mixture all set here. Again, it's 3 scoops of the 3D Crete and 1 scoop of distilled water, and it's very thin, so which is fine. It's what I want. And you know, I'm figuring, just like when I put this one down, that it'll start to set up a little bit as I'm working with it, and I'll be able to maybe make some a little bit more texture with it. So it's pourable, and I want to make sure that I have it in the areas back here. So I'm going to start back here, and I'm going to use my plastic spoon and just kind of, you know, work it in and try to feather it out a little bit, create a little bit more texture here. Okay, I mixed up way too much. So, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking, I guess I was going to go further out on this, but, you know, I want that space for my ocean. So, as I started working around with it, I decided I'm going to keep back here. Anyway, so that's it. I don't want it to, you know, I don't want it to go further out. So I'm going to stop right here. This skim coat layer of the 3D Crete was the, what do they call it on here? It's called the Smooth Blend, 3:1 ratio. And that's all dry. I knew that was going to dry quickly because it was a thin layer. And if the thicker ones were cured and hard in 24 hours, then I knew this was going to be set. So this product here, Quick Coat, is a urethane sealer. And it states on here that the sealer can be applied to the 3D Crete. So I don't want this to be absorbing, so I'm going to apply the urethane sealer to wherever this 3D Crete is. Now it also states on here, must wear a respirator and eye protection. So I'm going to be putting on my full face respirator. It also recommends to use it outside, but it's January and I live in the Northeast, so that's not going to happen. So I'm down in the basement, and I'm going to be putting this on, and it says no VOCs, so hopefully the smell isn't going to be too bad. I haven't opened the bottle yet. So let me get my respirator on and let's get started putting on the Quick Coat. All right, so to be on the safe side, I wore my full face mask, my respirator, and I'm just applying that urethane over all of the surfaces that I have the 3D Crete to seal it down. Okay, the urethane is dry and it has left a shiny finish on the 3D Crete, and that's okay. You know, it's a sealer, it's a urethane, so I pretty much expected it. I didn't think it was going to be a matte finish or anything, but I think I know I'm going to get out some of my spray paint and give this stuff a spritz to try and get it to look a little bit more like a sandy beach. And that's what I'm off to do, and we'll see how it looks. I'm done with prepping my board. Here is my finished sandy beach, and that's got that spray paint. It's a Rustoleum. It's a textured paint, and so it really looks like sand in my book. And I've picked out my colors. I pick out probably more than I need, and I have some embellishments to tuck into the sandy areas if I want. So I've got those ready to go. And these are my puddles that I do, my test puddles. And I want to point out to you guys real quick, when I'm doing the test puddles, so, you know, those are all my colors. These are transparent. Can you guys see through there? So my transparent ones I want to put on top of my opaque because I'm trying to create a look of depth. So if you notice, this is ATC Stormy Night, and I write on there tiny amount. But back here, that is the same pigment, but look, can't see through it because it is opaque, but if you use just a tiny bit, it is transparent. So anyhow, so I'm going to use that twice. I'm going to make it a dark one, and I'm going to make it a light one. I'm using Counterculture's Art Resin, and I'm also going to use their Snow White, and we'll see how that works for lacing to get some ocean waves here. All right, let's get to it. I wanted to stop with mixing my Counterculture Art Resin up so that I could show you how pretty and crystal clear this is. Now, it's on the thick side. I like thick. Thick is good. Gives you, I don't know. So, but it is real pretty. The bottles, you know, those are crystal clear bottles with crystal clear, look at that. It's like looking through water. Okay? So, both parts, both part A and B, crystal clear. Okay. Let's get going on tinting. Whee! I have tinted all of my resin, and I like to start with the dark colors first, working towards the beach. So I'm laying down my dark turquoise and then building towards the beach with lighter colors. Now I just put the ribbon down, and that one is a very opaque color, and I did that on purpose because I wanted it to blend off towards that sandy area. That way it'll make the fade look a little bit better. And then I'm just going to use my heat gun, warm that up, and pop any bubbles on the surface. You can see that it's running past my tape edge, so I should get a nice clean look to that edge. Now I'm going to come back, and using my popsicle stick, I'm going to put some thinner ribbons of color to blend off. These are all the turquoise colors that I'm laying down. And now I came back in with the white from Counterculture. I'm going to turn that board around so that I can try to work on getting some of the waves. Filling in a little bit here and there. I wanted to just tweak how that beach and ocean with the resin is working its way in. So now I'm using my heat gun and tilting the board, getting that resin to run naturally towards my sandy beach area. And now I'm using the torch as well as the heat gun. So I'm trying to get that beach to flow for me. I'm adding a little bit heavier ribbon of the Counterculture white, and I'm just pushing that back and forth, having it run across the sandy areas. Now, the white really didn't produce too much of a lacing action, It's okay because I do plan on coming back and doing another layer on top of this to get more depth, but it really just didn't produce much as far as lacing in an ocean wave. But you can see I'm running layers of color back and forth, or ribbons I should say, heating it with my heat gun and a little bit of torch to get some details. And a little bit more color out there in the ocean, still more ribbons. I've been working with the resin for about 20 minutes now, and got a little bit of lacing out there in the deep water, but not quite as much as I normally get. So let's come back tomorrow. It's the next day, and here's a close-up picture of what happened with the Snow White from Counterculture. I wasn't too thrilled with how it broke apart in there. So doing a second layer, I'm putting down a clear coat here, and I'm going to be working on my ocean a little bit more. It's important when you're putting down your second layer on an ocean piece that you use a lot of clear resin. So most of the resin I have, again, it's another 8 ounces that I batched up. Most of it is going to be clear, and a little bit is going to be white, a little bit with the transparent colors, and you just keep layering and building it in until you get what you like. Now I'm working on the white lacing. So I mixed up some of the Flow Art resin. They're white. It's a really nice bright white, and I've used it before and gotten some good results out of that. So I'm going to go back to that again. And I'm laying down a clear ribbon. I then follow it with a white ribbon. I heat it up with the torch, and I blow it out with the heat gun on high, and that's what creates the lacing for me. Now I'm going to drop in a few embellishments. I've got some little starfish and some shells that I've collected, and that's going to really add to the look of my beach piece. Looking good. Okay, it's first thing in the morning, and it's like Christmas down here. I got all kinds of stuff happening on my table, and there it is, hiding inside the Tupperware container. So let's pop it out of there and see what it looks like. Ta-da! Well, I'm pretty happy with that. Everything is nice and dry. Pop it off my little stands. All right. Looks good. So I'm going to take the tape off the sides and get it outside and get some pictures, because I have some sunshine this morning and then it's going to get cloudy. So let's do this. Sweet. This was a review on counterculture products. So the first product that I've used, which I've never used anything like this when working with resin, is their 3D Crete. And I have to say, I really liked using it. It gave me some fantastic results as far as creating a different 3D layer in the piece. So I'm happy with that. It was easy to work with, easy to clean up afterwards. Make sure you wear gloves. It is concrete, and it can really affect your skin. So recommend that, but really nice stuff. I'm very pleased. That gets a thumbs up. And I like their quick coat. I use that to seal the 3D Crete, and I was very pleased with the results. It has a recommendation to work with it outside, but I am in the Northeast and it's wintertime and I couldn't do that, and I wanted to try out their products. So I went ahead and did it inside, and I have to tell you, I really didn't find any issues with fumes in the house. So that was good news. Good result out of that. It also, the urethane did really good with holding on to the spray paint, because I did spray paint the surface of these stones to get that beach look, because the urethane is shiny, but putting the spray paint over top, it really adhered nicely. The resin, the artist resin, it's a two-part resin, and it's labeled with no VOCs. So, and there was absolutely no smell. I always wear a full face mask, respirator, but there was no smell working with this product. So that was good. It's on the thicker side, but look at how crystal clear that is. Ooh, that's nice. So I was pleased with that. It has a work time about 30, 45 minutes, something like that. I think I worked with it in each layer about a total of 40 minutes. So that was good. And I did also try their white snow. This is they call it their dispersion color. Now, on their website, they call this a water-based pigment. And this one is the only one that I'm going to give a thumbs down to. I was not pleased with this. I actually took a picture, and maybe you saw it in the video, but it leaves little bits and pieces in the resin. There was just minimal, but they were there nonetheless. And I had mixed it really carefully. So I was not happy with that result. I used it in the first layer. I did not use it in the second layer. The second layer, I used a different white because I was not getting any of the wave cell action that I wanted to get in an ocean piece. So that's the only thumbs down out of the whole group. And I really hope that you guys found out more about this product, and I enjoyed working with it. And overall, thumbs up. Thanks, Counterculture. If you want to see more videos by me, just click on one of the boxes that I've got up here for you, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.